name is Samantha. I make ASMR. And tonight, we are going to be talking about All Elite Wrestling's 2022 All Out pay-per-view. So, I have a little bit to get through. So, first, there has been some extracurricular activities. So I'm just gonna talk about that first because I don't think that it's very relaxing. So, if you haven't heard, which I'm sure you have, if you clicked on this video, CM Punk during the media scrum kind of just went off on Colt Cabana for a past incident that happened like 10 years ago, but has been re-brought up because Colt has been moved from AEW to the Ring of Honor brand, and people were speculating that Punk had something to do with it. He then brought up Hangman Adam Page because he apparently made a promo that he found to be disrespectful, and then brought up the executive vice presidents, which are Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, Nick and Kingston. We found out yesterday that there was allegedly a backstage fight in which CM Punk and his trainer, Ace Steel, got into an altercation with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Allegedly, there was fighting and a chair being thrown. So it's just very disappointing, you know? Like, I really like this company, and it's gotten me into wrestling, and it's just really disappointing that people that I like, because I like everybody involved. I mean, I don't know about Ace Steel. No, he's been on 2 episodes. I don't have that much research, but I genuinely like CM Punk. We're gonna reveal our biases. I love Colt Cabana. He was very much what made me continue watching. And it was, he sold his own gear one time. I don't know how often he does it, but that was like what sold me on him. And I saw it on his Instagram, and I was like, he's my favorite. Like, truly, I miss him on AEW. But I get it. Perhaps they both were not loving working with each other, or it had nothing to do with, you know, the two of them. Who knows? But it's just the physical stuff. I already think that the press conference was embarrassing. Like, that was embarrassing. I cannot believe that a PR like person was not screaming in the back, because I was watching it like, how is he still talking? Why isn't his mic getting cut off? You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that in front of your boss. You can't, like, say those things. I mean, I guess you can. I just, like, first of all, I don't think this is a work. I need to get that out there. There is no freaking way. Who would benefit from this? Colt Cabana? You think that they're gonna bring Colt Cabana back and give him a big push? Like, that's not true. Also, everybody involved in this is old. They're grown. Everybody in this story is like 40 years old. So bad. Bad to start. If this was like, I guess maybe if like Danny Garcia and like Wheeler Yuta and like MJF, I guess, gotta do a fight, I would be like, well, they're kind of young. They're all in their like 20s and should know better. But you know, it's like their first big job. No, all of these people have been employed or started big companies. Oh my gosh. That just, I cannot believe that there was not a PR person that like ran out and was like, oh my gosh, you need to stop talking or we're getting him out of here or something. It was such a sour note to end on because the pay-per-view ended on such a high note, which we will talk about. That like my friend like came to see me and spent the night, so we like finished and we were just like we had to like watch something. We had to literally sit in silence for a little bit to like calm down after the pay-per-view, and then we went to bed. And she goes, Sam, and I go, what? And she goes, apparently CM Punk is like going off on Colt Cabana in the press conference. And I was like, what? So then we're watching that unfold, that and the Don't Worry Darling drama happening at the same time, really feeding me. But it's like not fun because now it's like physical, and like that's not fun. And it's not fun to like embarrass people or like, you know, any of that. I don't like it. I'm not having fun with it, you know? Like, this isn't fun drama. Like, people are hurt. There are allegedly police involved. That doesn't feel good to me, you know? And the last thing that I will say that my mom actually brought up is I think that people underestimated what Brandy did in the company. Now, I know what I'm talking about is reality TV, and that's staged and blah, 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 blah. But Jade in Rhodes to the Top, because you know that I watched every episode of that. Also, AEW needs another reality show. In Rhodes to the Top, Brandy kind of like settled a dispute between Jade and Red Velvet and like kind of fix that. And you know, now they're on a team together, so I'm gonna assume that they're probably good. So I think that people underestimate, and when Brandy left, everybody talked about how much they loved Brandy. So I think that people underestimate kind of what she did and her role, and I think that somebody needs to be in that role. And honestly, it should be somebody who's not a wrestler. We need to stop bringing wrestlers in who just now have like another responsibility or managers. You need like somebody who is a PR person and an HR person to manage this. But anyway, that's done. And now we can get to the fun stuff. So I just wanted to address that. I had a comment asking my thoughts, and it's so messy, and it's so not fun, and it's disappointing, and all that stuff. So let's start with the buy-in. So, do you mind if I kind of comb through your hair? Thank you. So, the buy-in starts with Sammy Guevara and Ty Mello versus Ortiz and Ruby Soho. RJ City is interviewing them. King. A strong start because Sammy gets hit by a golf cart. I don't think it's a golf cart, but I don't know what you call it. It's like those maintenance ones that they use in stadiums. I really like the part where Ruby and Ortiz are carrying Sammy, are carrying Sammy and Ty to the ring. I thought that was very fun. You kind of know how this match already goes. It's the third time that we've had it. Hijinks ensue, outside interference from Anna Jay, Ty and Sammy win and retain the belts. I believe that Ruby did actually like break her nose during this, so that's very kind of sad. So next we're gonna move on to Hook versus Cool Hand Angelo Parker. I didn't talk about outfits for the last one. So outfits were fairly standard. Ty was wearing a top though that I was so afraid was just gonna come apart. Like, I did not trust those straps, you know? So, outfits for Hook, for School, and Angelo. Angelo Parker's theme song kind of slaps. I think this is the first time that I've heard it. and like really listened. But I was like, yeah, that kind of slaps. It's kind of a serve. His outfit, he was in, his tights were like fine, but he was in a sparkly black jacket with gold, like sparkly black jacket with like gold accents and then the JAS logo on the back, and I thought that that was very cute. And then Hook is in the gray shorts. So then the match starts. This was very fun. Again, kind of goes how you would expect throughout the match. Very fun. Angelo Parker gets kind of too confident, but he gets some shots in, which is pretty impressive. But then Hook looks in the red room and he immediately taps. Then, so Hook ends up retaining. Then Daddy Magic Matt Menard jumps him and they kind of start beating up on Hook. And then Action Bronson, who we saw in the crowd, who is the producer of Hook's theme, steps out of the crowd and into the ring and like chases them off. It's just very funny. I really liked it. He like kind of just like this to like kind of fake him out. I don't know. I had a good time. I was giggling. Then we have Kip Sabian versus Pac for the All Atlantic Championship. This was great. I had a lot of fun with this one. Kip Sabian comes out in this very Welcome to the Black Parade marching band-esque coat, but long, like long, and with red accents, so red, white, and black. I liked it a lot. He had the eyeliner, platinum blonde hair. He was unboxed instead of unmasked. And then Pac is in his usual gear, so you know, no notes. I love an armband. I will be so honest. So I was watching with my friend who does watch wrestling, and then my roommates were kind of in and out. And my one roommate did say that Kip Sabian gave her 2010 British YouTuber energy, which is just unreasonably funny to me. I'm so sorry to Kip if you were watching this. Well, we loved British YouTubers. We loved Alfie days. The match is fun. It starts out and they must have, maybe I just hearing better or something, but I think that they were better mic'd than usual because you could hear Pat going, oi, oi, oi. Just made me laugh. Cause I don't know, like even Hook you heard like verbally selling, and I don't feel like I've heard that before. So I had a lot of fun watching it. This is just so impressive. It's such a good fight. I had a lot of fun watching it. It's free on YouTube. You should watch it. Honestly, you should watch most of the pre-show because it was fun. Which is what a pre-show should be. I had fun. Then Pac ends up winning with the Black Arrow. So cool. That's the coolest move, to the point where, again, my roommate who doesn't watch wrestling and does not have a desire to, but I got the TV for 5 hours, went, wow, when he did it. I was like, yeah, sick. So afterward, Tony Schiavone goes to interview Pac, and Orange Cassidy comes out as his new opponent. Pac just looks at him and goes, no. And then he calls him a joke, which is mean. Don't be mean. But I'm never gonna be mad at Pac because Death Triangle have my heart. And then we come back and Kip is screaming at his box in the ring, which is fun. I love a haunted, sad kind of arc. Sometimes the intrusive thoughts when, you know, I kind of look like Squidward. If I like my note down. Okay. Kip had been screaming at his box kind of throughout the match, you know? So then we get Eddie Kingston versus Ishii. Slaps, chops, punches for the majority of the match. This is just not my kind of match, which is fine. I think that I was also just like waiting for the show to start. So, Eddie ends up taking the win. Eddie tries to like show respect to Tomohiro, but he won't let him. He very much wants him to have his moment, which is kind of fun. So then we get actually started, and we get actually started with the casino ladder match. So in order of entrances, we have Wheeler Yuta and Ray Phoenix first, going one-on-one. A treat. That was from, again, Tony said Samantha gets a nice reward for getting through her BFA and thesis pitch. Just wonderful. They are for real. Like some of my favorite male wrestlers, again, who are still on AEW. But I had the best time. I was like, yeah, because Wheeler's music hit. Oh my gosh, it's so cool that you can tell that when he's coming out because of the swords sheathing and blades cracking. I'm gonna read the rest. So then it's them two: Rouge, Andrade, Claudio, Dante, Penta, and then at the end the Joker. So outfits. Yuta has his BCC jacket, but it's got like this hollow. It's not holographic because it's not rainbow, but kind of color shifting red. Like here, and I think on the arm there's like blood. Serve. Love that as an addition. Phoenix is in a white outfit with the holographics on the mask and the tights. Rouge is in his usual, but it's always a serve. Andrade also in his usual, also always a serve. Again, my roommates like those too. Claudio is in his usual outfit. Dante is in kind of a usual fare. They might be slightly different colors, but you know. And then Penta is in a black outfit. So let's start the match. So, they're kind of fighting throughout. People enter every minute, I believe. So I'm going to fast forward to Claudio and Rouge, who set up this absolutely wild ladder contraption, which is very funny to me. Just one of those things that make you laugh. It was like, what on earth are they doing? Then Yuta takes I have no clue what it is. It's like a Canadian destroyer, but I don't know if that's true. If it's a sunset powerbomb, I don't know the names of moves. Off of a ladder, onto a ladder from, oh my gosh, who is it? I think Andrade or Rouge. That is so weird that I didn't write that down. That was like a crazy sick bump. I think it's Andrade. Then Ray puts Rouge through a table. Right as Penta comes out, Dante starts running at him, and on the ramp, Penta does a Canadian destroyer onto him and just, boy, knocked him right out. And then men dressed in all black appear with masks and all start taking everybody in the match out, and they outnumber them, and then one starts climbing, and as they were climbing I was like, okay, well, it's probably Lee Moriarty, and then he unmasked and it was Stokely Hathaway himself. I didn't actually think they could do that, like climb the ladder. That was sick. So he grabbed the poker chip, which means that he gets a chance for the title, but the Joker still has not entered. So as the Joker enters, we hear the Rolling Stones' Sympathy for the Devil, Crazy, and a man also dressed in all black but with a white devil mask comes out. I'm gonna be so honest, I didn't realize it was a devil mask. Like, Ava thought it was a White Walker mask, and I just looked at it and went, oh, it's like the Purge. But I like didn't think like, oh, devil. Eva was my friend that I watched it with. So he comes out, and that's, which makes me sound like obviously I'm not, because everybody gets it, but like he came out and I was like, that's him, that's how he moves. But you know, at least I base it on how he moves as opposed to some people who base it on his butt, which is so funny. It's so funny that somebody saw his butt and went, it's Maxwell Jacob Friedman. So he ends up taking the chip, but remains masked. So we don't know who it is yet. So next we have the World Trio titles with the Dark Order versus the Elite. The Dark Order comes out in matching Hangman vest with their names on the back. It's so cute. The Young Bucks have these bedazzled headbands. I watched their the BTV and I was like, so cute. And I love those. And then Kenny comes out, no shirt, no brace thing, looking amazing. I don't think, again, my roommates don't follow, and my friend Ava that came to watch with me, I think she's a little behind, so they heard me go, no shirt, no compression shirt, and they were like, yes, it was wrist weight, and I was like, no, you don't get it. This is a moment. Look trend, look can, fantastic, it's so exciting. Don Callis joins the commentary team for this one. We get the Kenny Hangman face off. It's just so excited. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love a Young Bucks match. I know that people have like problems with how the Elite fights or whatever. I don't care. I love it. Nick Jackson is wild. The more that I watch him, the more that I'm like, look at him, just jumping around. Jumping. Silver does this crazy counter to the one-winged angel. So cool. So cool. And then at the end, Hangman goes for a buckshot lariat as Kenny is being held by John Silver, but Kenny ducks, so he accidentally hits John Silver, and then I think Kenny pins for the win, and the Elite win the belts, which I'm perfectly happy with. I know that some people were like, oh, no. I don't care. I'm glad that they won, and I had to sit there. I was sitting there like this. I was like, oh no, yeah. So congrats to the Elite. I think it was great. Next we have the TBS Championship with Jade Cargill versus Athena. Okay, so Athena comes out. We're going to go through this with the custom wings with lights. And then Jade comes out and they show the brick wall. And I go, she's going to burst through it. And I had the inside track on this because if you recall, I asked at Comic-Con if there were any gear concepts that they'd been wanting to do, and she said She-Hulk, but she couldn't figure out how to do the green without it getting everywhere. And as soon as I saw the wall, I went, she's doing She-Hulk, and I broke that story. So I guess I'm a real reporter. But this goes pretty similar to a typical Jade match. Athena gets some hits in, but Jade ends up retaining, which I think was actually a good choice because I would like to see probably Chris beat her. So I'm glad they're waiting until she gets back. And if we have FTR and Wardlow versus Motor City Machine Guns and Jay Lethal. So about outfits, Sanjay comes out with a shirt that says fight like an 8-year-old girl, but the girl is crossed out and it says Brad. Didn't love that. even knowing what happens at the end, not my favorite, but it's just, kid stuff is always hard for me. I'm like, ugh. Wardlow is in a black and red, which I liked, and then Dex's daughter comes out with FTR and she gives Wardlow a hug. It's so cute because he like goes down to hug her and he goes, like ready to fight again. That was very cute, very, very sweet. Is it okay if I kind of press on your face? Thank you. So this match was fun. I know that some people had some problems with this being on the pay-per-view. I don't care. I don't book wrestling. I just watch it. So I thought it was fun. I like seeing Motor City Machine Guns. It made me laugh. They just kept doing it. I wish that my mom was watching with me because my mom would have thought that this was hilarious. Then so it kind of goes again, kind of what you would expect. Wardlow ends up doing the Powerhouse Symphony on Jay Lethal. And then once Jay Lethal is down and they end up winning, and FT War end up winning the match, Motor City Machine Guns, Sane, and Satnam look like they're going to beat them up, but Samoa Joe's music hits, so he runs out. He actually gets busted open to kind of defeat them. And then once they have them cornered, I believe, is her name Finley? And Dax's daughter comes out once again. She walks into the ring, and oh my gosh, how fun would it be if I broke a pencil blade? Okay, let's see if I can do it. Okay, so she walks out to the ring, and she grabs Andrew's pencil, and she breaks it. Oh. I don't know if that was very ASMR, but hopefully they gave some tingles. New trigger, I just break pencils. And then she puts her foot on Sanji's chest, and they do a count out. So she's 1-0, babe. I think that should go with Sanji's win-loss record. He's 0-1 or 0-2. I think he did another match too. Oh yeah, with Best Friends. So that was fun. Next, we have Ricky Starks versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Let's talk about outfits. Hobbs is in that new, I call it popcorn bucket, but I only mean that in the best way. It's like the black with the gold leaf kind of flaking off. That says Powerhouse. And then Ricky, we are in a new era of Ricky Starks, everybody. First of all, red and black color scheme. Different from what we've seen. He's wearing tights. He's wearing long boys with matching gloves and vest. Serve. Serve. There's just no disputing it at all. It's slay. So this actually goes pretty quick. Ricky gets beat up, and then Powerhouse does his finisher, and Ricky is down. But I'm very excited for this. I know people also had a problem with this being on the pay-per-view, but I don't care. You need a couple of short matches in there to break things up. So I'm very excited for Ricky Starks' place, and I'm very, very excited for Powerhouse House place. I'm so excited. So excited. Next, we have the tag championships with Swerve and Our Glory versus Acclaimed. Okay, if you watched my predictions video, I said that this was the match that I was least excited for. They made me eat my words. This was match of the night. Like, truly, I was watching it, and I was like, I'm not that excited for this. Eva was excited for it. So it's like, okay, so I'm watching it, and I just keep getting more and more excited, and like, I really thought that they were going to take the belts off of Swerve and Keith Lee for a second. Like, truly. So, outfits. Keith and Swerve are matching black, blue, and purple color scheme. Love. Thought that was very cute. My roommate really liked Swerve's slimy tights. I don't know what else to call them. And then the Acclaimed are their usual self. Billy Gunn comes out with them I will still not cheer Billy Gunn. You should not have done that to your sons. You know what you did. But the crowd is just like insane for it. Like, it's so crazy. So there were so many pin attempts throughout where you could reasonably see it going either way, because again, I was sitting there and I was like, oh my gosh. And it was so fun and interesting, and just I had so much fun watching this. Ultimately, Max Caster, I have to talk about, this is like the only move that I will touch on because it's the only one that you need to know, okay? Max Caster picks up Keith Lee, like the John Cena thing, like he picks him up like that over his shoulders. I was yelling. I was like, he's picking him up. He's picking him up. Oh my god. I was just screaming. I could not. Oh my gosh. And you know what it was? MJF was back, and Max had to show off for his boyfriend. You know, like, I get it. Totally get it. Totally understand. However, Swerve and Keith Lee do their like joint finisher where like Swerve jumps off the top rope and the power bomb on to Bowens and ends up getting the pin. And I literally thought that the audience was going to revolt. Lee tried to do like this to Billy Gunn, and Billy Gunn does a bag. And I think that is supposed to be like a good moment, but like people were booing. Like, people were mad. And I wasn't mad. Like, I expected them to win, but oh my gosh, it was such a good match. I get that like you can change things at the time, but sometimes it's fine. We'll just let the story unfold. Next, we have the Women's World Champ 4-way match with Toni Storm, Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Hikaru Shida. Oh my gosh, so sorry, Shida. Let's talk about outfits. Shida is in that usual kind of like one pant leg kind of thing. I love. Toni is in a Harlequin outfit, and Britt is in a bright yellow outfit, not like the Pittsburgh yellow, more neon, more green to it, with Rebel. Jamie Hayter came dressed to win. Like, I thought she was gonna, like, I saw her and I went, she's gonna win. And then she didn't. Spoiler. I was mad about it. Like, this and that, like, back to back, like, 2 ones who, like, people, like, just weren't feeling. Yeah, I'll talk about it. She is in white fur coat, holographic corset, under the bust corset, white outfit. I was yelling, screaming, crying, throwing up. Amazing. She came to win. I was like, she's dressed to win. And Ava was like, she's dressed to win. My roommates were like, she's dressed to win. I was like, correct. You are so right. So the match, it's very much Hikaru Shida and Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker. For the first part, Shida ends up getting hurt, but later returns with 2 kendo sticks, and just, I'm like, as you should. Jamie almost gets the pin, but Britt breaks up the pin, and then tries to pin Jamie, and Jamie's screaming. She's like, it's my time, you're ruining my time. Like, you're so right to be angry. And after that, I was like, oh, Toni's gonna win, which is fine. I think that Toni Storm is cool, but I've said it before, I don't watch WWE, nor have I ever watched WWE, and I think that AEW has a problem building up people who come from WWE for people who do not know their previous work. I don't know Toni Storm's previous work, and sorry. Oh my gosh. And I don't know. I really wanted Jamie Hayter to win, and the audience did too. And I feel like it's because we know her as a character more, and not just like Tony Storm, who's like Thunder Rosa's friend and like is a good guy. Like, it's not doing it for me. And I think what I was so kind of disappointed about, one, Tony pinned Hayter to win. It's like, oh, you could have pinned like Britt or someone. You could have been Jamie. Is because, and we'll know tonight, but I do fear, because they've kind of done like talking about Jamie leaving Britt a few times, and it's kind of just, they come back and they're like, actually worked everything out. It's like, I think that this will be a turning point. I just don't think it's going to get the time that I want it to have to really build and develop into something, because they were definitely seen as more equals than like MJF and Wardlow. So there's like a different story to tell. I don't know. Just worry. Anything with the women's division, I always worry. I'm like, oh no, this isn't gonna get the time that it needs. So I think that took the wind out of the sails a little bit for the audience. So next we have Jungle Boy versus Christian Cage. Jungle Boy makes his entrance, is then interrupted by Luchasaurus and slammed onto the grate, then carried down into the ring, where Christian hits the kill switch and gets the win. Very quick match. Let's talk about outfits though, because Luchasaurus never changed from his evil black gear, so we should have suspected that he would turn again, and I did, because I remember being like, why is he not in his great green gear? He's still in like the bad guy gear. And as soon as he walked out, Ava, who again is a little bit behind and hadn't been, watching those last bit, sat there and went, why is he in black gear? And I go, well, he was evil, but now he's like not anymore. But I guess he just kept the gear. And then he slammed Jungle Boy onto a grate. And I was like, okay. So still evil. That's fine. That's cool. So yeah, that was very funny. Oh, she is a little empty. Next, we have Bryan Danielson versus Chris Jericho. Let's talk about outfits. Chris Jericho is in his Lionheart outfit, very similar to the one that we previously saw, except the colors are switched. So it's yellow on top and black as the kind of stripes. These pants did not fit, but it made it work. So good on him, because that would have been tough for me. Bryan Danielson is wearing a white pair of trunks with blood spatter, which I thought they were fun. I thought it's a fun way to incorporate the maroon. This match, this was just not for me. I know that I'm playing into the stereotype of like, people don't like AEW, don't like technical wrestling or whatever. I'm fine with technical wrestling, it's fine. I need somebody to get me here. I was like, oh my gosh, and maybe if I rewatch it, I'll like it better, because it's been like 4 hours of wrestling, so I'm sure that I'm a little burnt out. But I was like, okay, I need somebody to get up there, do a flip or something. There's just so much grappling and so many submission holds, and I'm like, hey, this one was a little tough for me, guys. We're gonna be so honest. However, Bryan does gyrate around for a second, so I guess that was my break from traditional wrestling. But yeah, lots of momentum shifts, and then at the end you can kind of see that Jericho maybe has some trouble keeping up, because they are very much wrestling Bryan Danielson's style of wrestling. So while the ref is distracted, he punches Bryan in the balls and does the Jews effect and takes the pin to win, which is very interesting. Daniel Garcia is also less involved in this match than I thought that he would be. He's watching from backstage. He looks sad because Jericho kind of cheated in a way. All of the JAS comes out to celebrate except for Daniel Garcia, which we later find out Jericho is mad about. Also later, we see that Jericho goes back to confront Daniel Garcia and is like, I hope that you win next week, but the JAS will not be in your corner. And I think that you're gonna win, but we're not going to help you. So let's talk about that, because they're fighting in his hometown. He's fighting Wheeler Yuta. Thank goodness. Everybody thinks that he's gonna win. I don't know if he's gonna win. I honestly don't care. But if he loses or if he wins, I don't care. I think what has to happen, because the person that has the biggest veto in the Blackpool Combat Club is Wheeler Yuta. So he kind of needs Wheeler Yuta's blessing in a way. So if he wins, I would like a hand extension to Wheeler Yuta, who is still lying on the ground, and he helps him up and raises his hand as well. And then Brian Danielson can come out and like slap him in the face or something, you know, something like that. If he loses, I want Brian Danielson to come out, wait by the ring, stare at them until Wheeler Yuta extends his hand to Daniel Garcia, pulls him up, and then slaps him or hugs him or something. I would like just a mutual hand extension. That's what I would like. Next, we have the House of Black versus Darby Allin, Sting, and Miro. House of Black look amazing. Julia Hart looks like Stevie Nicks but scary. Like a big hat, like kind of like a flowing long robe, all black. They have some emerald green sprinkled in to their outfits, which I love. Two, I think that is great, because this would have been a very monochromatic match if not, because Sting and Darby are obviously gonna wear black, and Miro actually dressed in black to kind of match. I think it's dealing with more of his storyline, but I think it was to match Sting and Darby. Darby is in, I couldn't tell quite, I think it's a skirt, like a cargo skirt. I liked it. It's kind of like this like gray military green mix of colors. I liked it a lot. So the actual match, Miro very much does not seem to want help from his teammates. I thought it was very fun. I will never not think that a House of Black match is not fun. Darby obviously gets thrown around by Brody, and Sting at the end ends up misting Malachi in the eye with the black mist, and then Darby pins him. Loved it. What a fun little subversion of expectations. There are some rumors that Malachi Black might be taking a break or might be kind of done with this, which I wish him all the best, because I think the House of Black is such a unique idea. I think it's probably still ahead of its time, and they could be on my TV every Wednesday and Friday, and I would have no problem with it. I think that is what they were going for when they did the Dark Order, but they actually, like, Malachi has thought about it and made it right. I think that it has propelled Julia to a new place that I'm very excited that she can be in. I think she's taken more seriously. I hope it's not, because I really like Malachi Black. But if you take some time off, great for him. I think that that's really good. I think that you should take time off. You work like all the time, and we are not made to do that all the time. You get like a recovery season. So I hope that he's just taking a break and he ends up coming back. But if not, I hope that he finds some place that will take, you know, his baby and give it the time that it deserves. Last match of the night, we have Jon Moxley versus CM Punk for the AEW World Championship. Lately, Moxley's been wearing these fun little sweats. So these ones have a gold graphic on the leg that says Undisputed. Punk is in white, long tights, which white is tough. Could be so honest. You need to double layer those. I know that it would be more hot, but I need you to double layer the white. Maybe they were double layered. I was like, yeah, you can see the underwear. The actual match, Punk gets busted open. Mox licks the blood off, to which my friend was like, yeah, that's not for me. Not my friend that was watching with me, my roommates. She was like, is that real? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like trying to explain to her like blading and all that stuff. She's like, she goes, what if he has like hepatitis? And I'm like, I don't know. I hope that they get tested. I do not work there. So Mox licks the blood off. Gross. Mox kicks out of the GTS, which CM Punk kind of puts on right away, you know, kind of like a 3-minute, like the last match was, and kind of show that his foot's still working, he's still kicking. And then at the end, he ends up hitting him with another GTS, and that ends it, and Punk is our new champ, so he is celebrating, and then all the lights go out. And then a voicemail of Tony Khan is heard playing. That is like, I'm at the end of my rope. You're disappointing our fans. I need you to be it all out. I'll put you in the casino ladder match. And you're like, oh my gosh, here it is. Like, I promised my roommates that I wouldn't yell after 11 o'clock. So now it's 4 minutes to midnight. And Ava and I are sitting there. I'm not even joking. This isn't like an ASMR scream or anything. We're looking at each other going, like that's the actual voice that we're making. I'm like hitting her. And I'm like, oh my god. He's gonna come back. Because I was like, that's MJF. But I also didn't want to get my hopes up because I was afraid that they would drag this on. And I was like, and if it's not MJF, that's gonna be bad. Because I know it's MJF. Like in my brain and my heart and my soul. So lights are out. Tony Khan voicemail. He says that he'll give him blank and he doesn't have to sign an extension. So they bleep out how much he's going to give him. Screen turns off again. Screen turns back on. We get a video of CM Punk from Ring of Honor. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. Video screen goes dark. The man on the devil mask comes back up, turns around to the back, pulls off his mask. It's MJF. But you can only see the back of him. Out comes the parade scarf. It's MJF. I'm being so good. I'm trying not to yell. But I am just so excited. I've watched it like 4 times now. I've described it. I came into my studio class and I was like, guys, he came back. My mental health cured. The screen goes dark again. His music begins to play in the arena. Up comes the video package. He walks out, scarf, still in the all black, and just smiles. Then flips off the entire crowd. MJF chants in Chicago are heard echoing around. And I'm losing my mind. Pay-per-view ends. His mind. He is such a theater kid. Like, I know it in my soul. I just wrote my notes. All that I wrote was MJF. I was so excited. And I wish that that's how I could have gone into Wednesday. I wish that I could have just been so excited about that. But unfortunately, now we have to worry be a very interesting Dynamite tonight. I will probably not do a review because I wasn't really planning on doing a review of this one, and I want to get on a regular ASMR video before that. But I had a great time. I know the people weren't thrilled with the pay-per-view. I had fun. I didn't mind spending, you know, my friend and I split it. It was $25 each. That's right, I pay for the pay-per-views because one time I tried to pirate it and I gave my computer a virus, so now I buy them. But what I know, I had the most fun of my predictions, including the pre-show of, I believe it was 15 matches. I got 9 correct. Some I didn't really, I had like things that I wanted to happen, but I was like, this is probably gonna happen. I think I got 9 correct, so not bad. But yeah, I hope that this video brought you some rest, some relaxation,